Breaking news, guys. This is awesome. Anna, Paulina, Luna, and Matt Gaetz saw bodies. They saw alien bodies, guys. We've got to talk about this. So get in here. This is Jack with the Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, this is per Matt Laszlo of Askapole. A birdie tells me Representatives Luna and Gaetz had a briefing where they were shown bodies. Now, he distinctly says Luna and Gaetz and nobody else. So I'm assuming this isn't the skiff where a bunch of them got together to review some of the David Grush material. So this seems to be one of these secret meetings that we've been hearing rumors about. Not so secret meetings, but of course the content is largely secret until now, at least a little bit. So yeah, Matt Laszlo asked Anna, Paulina, Luna about it, and he says, stay tuned. So a huge teaser right there. And by the time you see this video, who knows, maybe there will be additional information. But Matt Gaetz and Anna, Paulina, Luna were shown bodies, almost certainly, pictures of bodies. I doubt, they were, bodies were wheeled out, to show them. But, you never know. But I'm sure these were pictures of bodies. So what kinds of bodies were there? Well, what kinds of bodies do we know that they have? Well, they have the tall beings recovered in the Maje, Brazil UFO shootdown that I've covered, and I think it's an amazing case. A bunch of different witnesses saw this UFO battle over Maje, Brazil, where the UFO control group was shooting down UFOs that may have been attacking or show some interest in a munitions facility in that town. And there was one human death that worked at the munitions facility. Again, we don't know if that's because of, the control group lighting things up or if the aliens were attacking. We don't know who the good guys and the bad guys are in a lot of this. Unfortunately, if the control group wants better PR, they better get out there and start telling us they're the good guys, because it doesn't seem like they are. From one or two of the witnesses that saw the bodies being retrieved from the downed UFOs, they described them as very tall and human-like, like basketball player size. So in this animatic or this, depiction of the events, this, dramatization of the Maje, Brazil case, a really great dramatization, but it does take some liberties, like with the alien body. We don't know what exactly they look like. And, but they were tall. But the witness describes them as more human-like, but it's unclear if that just means bipedal with two arms and, two eyes and a mouth or something else. So what other beings has the government interacted with? I'm not aware of any concrete information about shootdowns involving Nordics. There's a couple of different stories about the Mussolini UFO. There's two different versions of the beings that were recovered from that UFO that are possibly in U.S. hands, along with the UFO that we retrieved in 44 or 45. In one version of that story, they were Nordics. In another, they were not. So it's possible they have some Nordic bodies. And there are a couple of different stories out there where experiencers who were abducted by my labs saw the military guys working with the Nordics there. And so, yeah, very interesting. And those are more negative experiences, which is one of the very few negative encounters with the Nordics. They're usually benign or positive, even very positive. What other beings does it seem like the government has interacted with that they may have bodies from, possibly, conceivably? Well, the tall whites. There's our main source of information about the tall whites comes from Charles Hall, and yeah, they look like this. They're not the Nordics, but they're kind of they're very tall, very pale, stringy skin. They seem to have been allies, or at least working with us. They seem very protective of their young, according to Charles Hall's information. If they're that protective of their young, they're probably protective of their bodies. They're probably not going to turn their bodies over to humans once they die. So I doubt it's the tall whites, but you never know unless we're enemies with them now and we're shooting them down, which is always possible. It's much more likely that there's grays or some sort of gray adjacent body, right? Because, of course, they've been shooting at many UFOs over the years, some of which seem to have grays in them. The same are gray adjacent beings, like in Roswell. They don't seem to be necessarily exactly grays, but they were gray adjacent. There's several gray adjacent beings out there. And there seems to be different varieties of grays. It's hard to tell what's a gray adjacent and what's an actual gray. So sometimes we'll shoot at grays. Sometimes we are working with the grays. Is that two different groups doing two different things, two different human groups doing two different things? Or are there different groups of grays? There seems to be the more hostile grays and the more friendly grays. But it's possible we could, if the control group are the good guys, which they're probably not. But I like to be positive. It is possible. It is possible. They could be shooting at negative ETs or, the hostile grays. So we could have some of those bodies in our possession, or it could be that we're shooting at the good grays and we have those in our possession. What other bodies? Well, bodies that we know for certain exist are the Nazca mummies. And I've shown some evidence that seems to suggest there are living specimens of this species out there in the world today. Obviously we need more information about that and some corroboration on that. But that seems to be a possibility. So since we have bodies already in Mexico and South America of these guys, and there seems to be some current specimens running around today, it's not inconceivable that we would have them, in our possession, and they could be shown to people. But it's much more likely, in my opinion, that it's the grays. And of course, there's all sorts of different species out there, some of which may have interacted with the U.S. government, like maybe possibly the mantis people, possibly. The mantids, they seem to stay on their ships for the most part, but occasionally they don't. Could they have died here and been retrieved by the government? Yep, sure, possible. If you believe that one video of the Tomb Raiders fighting a mantis being, they killed a mantis being in that video, supposedly. So there's a possible dead mantis being for you, but it's probably BS. That video is just so weird, guys. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for it to be a hoax. It doesn't make any sense for it to be real. It's just so stupid. It's just such a weird video. If you can make sense of that video that also includes the pyramidal structure and the technology, the ET technology, that's a lot of stuff to include in a hoax that doesn't get any play. It doesn't. It's just, I don't get it. I don't get why they would have created that video. There are a lot of resources went into the creation of that video. It's a conundrum, guys. It's a conundrum. Anyway, I'm not going to make a long video, but there you go. There are some examples of specimens that may have been shown to Anna Paulina Luna and Matt Gaetz. But of course, that's all speculation. There are possibly infinite varieties of beings out there. Then many of them have come here. Sometimes they're one-offs. Sometimes they're here on some sort of continuing basis interacting with people. So let me know who you think Anna Paulina Luna and Matt Gaetz saw. What species did they see? Did they see multiple species? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Either way, a super juicy story. Congress people are being shown alien bodies, guys. Love it. All right, let me know your thoughts. Thumbs up, like, buy the merch, and become a channel member. And I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road signing out.